Hello, Mr. CelestialLava.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Interesting IGN.
Not
Do you like
really.
Celestial, the rank? Or is
Yeah,
it
I think
just
the
the.
title is pretty cool.
Okay. I was going to ask if it's like the godlike thing, the divine thing, the theme of it. If you were just into that and not the actual like Jules title.
No, I actually got it from Name Generator.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, me and my friend we wanted matching IGN, so we were just looking through like random name generator, and then we stumbled across Celestial Water, Celestial Lava, Celestial this, Celestial that. So we
Hmm.
just decided to go with Lava Water, and then it was gonna be just on our alts originally. Like this account was my alt. So yeah.
Oh, that is pretty
Yeah.
interesting. The matching stuff. I feel like most matching names are just eaters. No
Yeah.
diss. No diss. Just saying.
Yeah. 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 Fair enough. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Hmm. Okay, so let's begin with your IGN. You didn't mention, obviously, it's a name generator, but maybe there's something else to it.
Yeah, so my first IGN I ever made was Gmule, Gmule. And pretty much I made that when I was like 7, 8 years old on my iPad. I just typed in a bunch of random letters. Because back then Minecraft Pocket Edition, well, it was called Minecraft Pocket Edition. Now it's Bedrock. But back then you could choose any IGN you wanted and just go into a world or server and just play. Because back then there was no Microsoft, like there was no Microsoft involvement. I
Hmm.
don't think Mojang sold Minecraft to Microsoft at that point. But yeah, I mean, OG names weren't popular because you could have any name you wanted, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just typed in Gmail and I stuck with it up until 2022, where yeah, me and my friend we just wanted alts and um we just wanted matching names because why not? The plan was to just play bridge on two alts and just play for fun. I don't know. They're just kind of fooling around and then yeah, we decided on Celestial Lava. But eventually he would change his alt to something else. I just stuck with CelestialLava and I made it my main because I had more fun playing on this account than I did my other one, and also I got rank gifted on this account. So I was like, you know what? I have no motivation to play on my main, which at the time was I think I had 6,000, 7,000 wins in bridge. So I just decided like, okay, let me just get 10,000 on my main instead. I mean, on my new alt, which would become my main instead.
Hmm. How many wins did you have on your ult? Whenever you like decided to main it,
Huh? What do you mean?
like the moment you found out, like, okay, I'm gonna main this ult. It's gonna be my new main. How many wins did it have in bridge?
Under 1,000 for sure. I don't really remember exactly, but it was
Wow.
definitely under 1,000. At that point, though, I had a good win-loss ratio, which kind of it was the main thing that was motivating me to play because I didn't really care too much for wins. I cared more for win-loss ratio, and I had like a 150 win-loss ratio, just dodging casually with a
Hmm.
friend. It was really cool to just see like, oh, okay, look, I got a big number. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think it was really cool. And then after that, I didn't care about win-loss ratio at all. And then
Hmm.
fast forward to today where I have like 17,000 actually, I think I might have 19,000 on my main. I don't really remember. 17, 19,000. I think I have 17,000 in twos and then 19,000 overall. But yeah,
Yeah.
now my win-loss ratio is at like a 100 or something. But yeah, I mean, we can't dodge anymore, so it just kind of went down the window.
Oh, of
But
course.
yeah, now I care more for wins, and even then now I just quit the game completely.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was cool. Good run.
What made you care about win loss ratio on your ult, or technically your main?
Um, I think it was mainly Shade, and I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, pretty much. So I was in this old bridge guild called Lost Paradise, and it was the most fun that I've ever had in bridge. It was really cool. It was Timothy was the owner of it. Timothy and Shiki. He's a leaderboard player on twos as well. But yeah, pretty much Timothy left Lost Paradise. He left for Kong. So I was like, oh, okay, let me just go wherever Timothy goes because I had a blast. I mean, this was like the most fun I've ever had in a guild. But I didn't get accepted into Kong, I guess. I don't really remember what it was. I think I tried to message somebody about trying to join, but it was a friends guild and this was like back in 2020. So it was like late 2020. So they didn't let me in. So I'm like, "Oh, wonderful." And then I thought because I didn't know much about Shaden or Grassblock or any of these people at the time. Um I thought it was just a like a okay, you have to join. Like the only reason you can join is because if you have like a high win loss ratio, because I would see people
Hmm.
with really high win loss ratios in Kong, so like my brain just put two and two together. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I have to get a good win-loss ratio to get in, I guess. Um,
Yeah,
but no, that ended up not being the case. I think by the time I went for the win-loss ratio to try to get into Kong with that goal in mind, but then I don't know, but with that in mind, it was weird because yeah, I did get into Kong as soon as I got a good win loss ratio, but it wasn't necessarily because of the good win loss ratio. It was just because at that point I started speaking to Shaden, not even just to get into Kong, but it was just he just became a good
casual.
friend of mine, and yeah, he
Mm-hmm.
just became a good friend of mine, and it was just oh, okay, well, some people I don't really enjoy to speak to in Kong, but I do like to speak to a handful of people like Shaden, Roxford, Rumery, Jackson, Grassblock. A little iffy with him and our relationship, but generally he's a chill guy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, there's definitely some really cool people. Hockey, I can't list them all out. Drummer,
Yeah.
Ben Zalt, but yeah, it was a really cool community.
What made the other guild fun? The Paradise
Okay,
one?
what?
The other guild? You said it was like the most fun you had in Bridge. What made the guild
Yeah,
actually fun?
In Bridge, yeah. So in Bridge, Lost Paradise was the most fun. Kong was the most fun I've had, I would say, in Minecraft in general, but for Bridge specifically, Lost Paradise for sure. It was because Shiki and Timothy ran it, and it was a super cool it was really cool to be in a guild where it was kind of like a sense of like a really nice community. Like we would play we'd have like GeoGuessr nights, so you would just play late night and just play GeoGuessr together. We would just like listen to music. Like it was super laid back. Again, I can't really remember too well because this was 3 almost 4 years ago, but yeah, it was a fun time. I really liked Lost Paradise. Like I spoke so highly of it, and I tried to replicate Lost Paradise in 2023 or four. I don't really remember. But yeah, me and Timothy, we made a guild. It didn't work out because at that point he was working full time. I was finishing up high school, I want to say, and we had just different things, and it all kind of went down the sewer. He quit the game, and different things unfolded. But generally, though, I don't know. I really like Timothy. He's a really chill guy, and yeah, Lost Paradise was a really good guild. I had a blast
Mm-hmm.
in it.
Because of the community aspect.
Yeah, exactly. Back then, a lot of people were grinding too. Like so many people grinded. So as soon as you would hop in, you would instantly get a partner, like a teammate, and you would just grind win streaks, grind win loss ratios, and you had an incentive too. Because in the guild, if you had a good win loss ratio, you would be promoted into like a higher rank.
Mm.
So although I was playing at that point on my main, I didn't have my all with the good win loss ratio yet. It motivated me to get more wins because you were promoted also for your wins as well. So wins or a good win loss ratio, you would get like a certain rank. So it was motivating, and yeah, it was just everything was really good, just everything in
Mm-hmm.
general.
Well, let's move on to Bridge, I think. Unless you want to say something quickly about other guilds.
No, I mean I was in card for a little bit. I was in wound for a little bit. Nothing memorable in wound. And card was cool. I had to make like 4 montages to try to get into card because card at the time was like it was a friend group guild, but it was like a scrims friend group. So it was like ignore me, zombie, um, cyclone. Like that. The only reason I got in was because
Mm-hmm.
of cyclone. It was like hey man, I die lots, but yeah, it's more of a friend group. So
Yeah.
they ended up purging the guild. But yeah, me and my friend Joel, we decided to try to get in, and yeah, we got in, but we got kicked out like a couple months afterwards because they made it private just for friends. So I think
Yeah.
that's cool.
Okay, let's move on to Bridge. Can you describe your playstyle? And is this consistent?
Yeah, I would say it is. I mean, after 19,000, 19, 17,000, I don't know my wins, but after thousands of wins, plus my other account as well, plus my all my alts combined, yeah, I would say it's consistent. Not
Mm-hmm.
consistently like very good or anything, but consistently average, I guess. My playstyle is just I have sort of the gamer gen playstyle because I also had a blast playing with gamer gen, and I tried to imitate gamer gen a bunch because I really liked his playstyle, and he's a really chill guy. His really good gameplay too. So yeah, my gameplay is just I like to hold W and to try to move fast. Timothy's, really fast player, so I try to copy him, copy Jan, just move
Mm-hmm.
fast, and yeah, try to just get as much wins, score as much goals as possible, while also at the same time just relaxing too. So it's kind of like a sweet spot for it.
Yeah, so it's not too sweaty, but it's still good enough to win most games.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, with dodging, I would watch just like the MCU, Phineas and Ferb, different shows, and
Hmm.
it was really easy to just get wins and not even have to look.
Yeah, since you're holding W most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. And against nons, they don't really know what to do with that.
Oh yeah. So how do you clutch against closet cheaters and blatant cheaters? Or try to, at least.
Yeah. Against blatant cheaters, there's not much you can do. If they're using Blink and they know what to do, there's not much you can do. Um, if they're blatant cheaters but they have bad game sense, they're like better worse players. You can try to win. I guess a lot of it is racing and hoping you get lucky and they clip and your teammate is good enough to defend. Also, just try to bypass a lot and use the fact that you know how to bypass and they don't. So they'll try to scrim it on top bridge. So if you can just stall them out in PvP while one of your teammates bypasses and scores, that's often the meta. For closet cheaters, it's sort of the same thing. You just sort of you can't win in PvP too often because they're closeting. So you just sort of have to rely on bypassing, rely on block hitting, and sort of walking through and doing everything as much as possible. Back when ghost blocking was a thing, I abused that a lot. And
Hmm.
yeah, I got a couple good games because of it. I won some.
Hmm. What do you think about spawn blocking? Since a lot of people say it's toxic.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's scummy to some degree, but again, it's there's not much you can do about it. Hate the game, not the player. Like if
Hmm.
people want to put down Obsidian and Bed Wars, they can do that. But
Yeah.
I don't think you can get mad at them for doing it because the game allows it. So if spot blocking is a thing and you're losing, you might as well just do it. It is scummy and you know if the other person is better than you, so you won't have the satisfaction of beating them because you spawn blocked. It's kind of like a scummy victory, but at the end of the day, a win is a win, and I mean, it's in the game for a reason, so you might as
Yeah.
well take advantage of it.
Do you think they should update it so you can't place blocks near the spawn?
I think it's a little too late for that.
Hmm.
Respectfully, like I think they should have done that maybe 5 years ago, but I mean,
Now it's
I
part
don't
of the
think they
game.
would. Yeah, I think they would have done that. I mean, well, no, Bridge came out before 5 years ago. But yeah, I mean, even then, it's just slightly too late for that. They had so
Hmm.
many chances to update the game and add things that we wanted them to add, but they just never did. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, they can spawn block and they can do whatever. Again, I don't really think it matters now.
Hmm. Well, yeah. Nothing matters anymore. The game's kind of dead. Same with the com.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm glad you made this podcast. I think it's cool to have something to look back at.
Hmm. What do you think about the timer reduction in Bridge?
Yeah, the timer reduction it was an insignificant change, really. I'm glad they added it because, frankly, waiting 5 minutes in the cage or 5 seconds in the cage was way too long. So they made it to 3. I think that's better. It gives you time to grapple while also building your momentum up to run.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, 5 minutes or 5 seconds was too much. I think the timer reduction thing was pretty good. That's a good addition that they made.
Yeah. Do you pre-gap or pre-bow?
Yeah, I pre-gap because you always want to get those 2 hearts. Some
Yeah.
people pre-bow, specifically scrimlets, but when you're fighting nons most of the time, that pre-bow, it's either gonna miss and slow you down with it, or it's either gonna land and then you're sure you'll get the slight edge, but again, like against a non, 90% of the time, a 2 heart lead or whatever is not gonna do much. So I think frankly it's a waste of time most of the time, and just
Yeah.
I'd rather just hold W and pre-gap.
Yeah, that makes sense. What do you think about the Bridge lobby spam? Well, it's not really spam, but back in the, I don't even know how many years ago, people wanted it in a different lobby. And since most Jules
Yeah, I think
AP is about Bridge as well.
yeah, I think that's dumb. A bridge should not have its own lobby. The day bridge has its own lobby, then all of duels is screwed over. Bridge is what
Hmm.
gives duels a community, really, because without Bridge, there wouldn't be so many people playing sumo. There wouldn't be a lot of people playing UHC because it's all near the um, bridge
NPC.
NPC. Yeah.
It also has a lot of YouTubers behind it.
Well, had a lot of YouTubers behind it.
Yeah.
Now, now not so much. But yeah,
Yeah, just looking back, I mean.
yeah, for sure. Paris, Cheetah, Bucky, a lot
Hmm.
of scrim players and a lot of YouTubers in general. Sen69 and you name it.
So you think bridge would just be not bridge, but Duels would be dead? Bridge was moved to like a different lobby.
I wouldn't say dead because I think each mode has its own community and there's a lot of diehard players. So I wouldn't say dead, but I would say that it would suffer a loss for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What do you think about the AP thing? The fact most AP in bridge, I mean, Jules is in bridge.
I mean, I don't really know what to say. I guess it's a thing. I guess I don't really know. I don't really have an opinion on it.
All right. Do you think there should be more AP for like different modes or every mode technically?
Um, Not really, because I think some modes like bow duels, no debuff, that get like so little players. I don't really think they need that much, and I think Hypixel is smart for trying to allocate the resources to bigger fish. Bigger fish to fry.
So it's more optimal, more efficient.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So 2v2 versus solo. What do you prefer, and what do you think is the best? This could be in like
Uh,
this could be like wins per hour too, or what's the most fun to grind?
Yeah, based off my wins, all my wins are in twos, so I would definitely prefer twos, just because you have a teammate you can VC with, and you can definitely just chill, and it's really cool. Just watching a show with another person, or just doing anything with another person is really cool. Um, but wins per hour, solos is definitely more efficient because people disconnect. So as soon as one person disconnects, you get the win instantly, re-queue, and it's the same thing.
Hmm.
Twos, it takes longer to fill because they're solo queuers. And then if one person disconnects but the other one stays, you have to still score all 5 goals. So twos is definitely slower for wins per hours, which makes the leaderboard, I think, a little bit more cool in my opinion than solos. At least that's my opinion. But again, solo has bigger numbers on the leaderboard, but doubles is requires more time. So
Hmm.
if a bridge player has 10,000 wins, but they play solo, like all they play is solo, then I'm like, okay, that's cool, right? But if a bridge player has 10,000 wins, but all of them are in doubles, obviously, like myself, I have what 17 doubles. Um, I think okay, well that's a little bit more impressive because twos takes more time. So I think it's the same thing as like parkour, right? If
Yeah.
somebody has 5,000 wins in classic duels, I'm like, okay, that's whatever, that's cool. But if somebody has 5,000 in parkour or even bridge for that matter, I'm like, okay, well I respect that a lot more, way more,
Yeah, because it requires more
just because of the
effort
time.
and time.
Yeah, exactly, more impressive.
What do you think about the other modes in bridge, like capture the flag and 4v4?
I loved Capture the Flag when it first came out. When it first came out, I actually completely stopped playing all the other bridge modes and Capture the Flag. I was actually in a Capture the Flag guild, but they made an update. I don't know what update this was. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Before Capture the Flag died, it was actually really popular. People loved it. I loved it as well. It was super cool. It was kind of like football almost. It required a lot of technique because even if you got to the other side of the goal, you need to bring the flag back to your base. So you needed like a way in, a way out, and it was super fun, super hectic. Um, but yeah, they made an update so where now it's a hide and seek match. So now like the two people with the flag just play hide and seek throughout the whole entire map, and it's just sort of sucks. And then there's also a lot of glitches when picking up the flag and bringing it back. It's a mess. They completely screwed it up. Yeah, with the other modes, I think some of them are cool. I think 3v3 is all right, or not 3v3. I think 4v4 is all right. 3v3 and all the other 2v2v2s. I have friends on leaderboards like I think Jackson, Roxford are on those. I think those are cool. Those came out when Bridge came out. Those are really cool. Those are the OG ones. But they're fun, but nobody queues them. But I think if they were alive, they're definitely very fun to play, but it's just a shame nobody plays them.
What makes them fun?
What makes them fun? It's just kind of hectic. It's sort of just like
It's
it's
like a
sort of
free for
random.
all.
It's just Yeah, just like a bunch of little ants just fighting on bridges and just blue team, red team, green team. And it's just
Hmm.
sort of crazy. Yeah.
Want to explain some of the capture the flag glitches?
I couldn't go into detail. I haven't touched Capture the Flag in like 3 years or 2 years or however long it's been since it came out. But I
Hmm.
remember at a certain point you would drop the flag and you would stand on it and you wouldn't be able to pick it up. Or you would go on it and you would take it back to your base and it wouldn't register at all. you have to kill the other person in order to for it to count. And sometimes you would get the flag, and then it would instantly teleport back for some reason. Like it was weird. Again, they might have patched all of these, but that was the last time I played, like 2 or 3 years ago, after it first like initially came out. It had so many bugs after that one update.
Hmm. Do you think these sub modes should have like special rewards, like how in Skywars there's a reward for every kit?
No, I don't think so because those sub modes don't get players, and they
Hmm.
already do have special rewards. They have special cages if you have certain amount of wins and certain amount of sub modes. But the problem is, since nobody plays them anymore, the only people getting those rewards are boosters who
Yeah,
boost and fill people up with lobbies of bots and just get the cages
it's
that
still
were pretty
minimal.
cool.
It's still
Yeah.
minimal
M-
rewards.
Yeah, minimal rewards, but I don't know. I think they should do more rewards for main modes than anything based on wins and progression.
Hmm. Do you have any unique ideas for like rewards?
I'm gonna be honest with you, no, I'm not. I know a lot of people were like, there's a bunch of forum posts and people saying what they should add and what they should not add. I honestly could not tell you what they should add. I mean, again, now it's far too late. I think if they were going to add something cool, this would have been a good opportunity back in 21, 22 to add all
Yeah.
these things, but we're almost in 26. Well, actually, not really. We're halfway through 25. But yeah, it's a little too late, but I think they could have added better hats. I think the hat game is kind of weak, and then they also could have added slightly better cages too. Their cages are again pretty all right.
What makes a cage decent, in your opinion?
So for a leaderboard player or somebody who's trying to get a bunch of wins, like a cage is good when it has a bunch of space on the top. So for example, a bad cage would be like the witch hut or something. Actually, not even then. It's all right. Like a bad cage would be like the snow globe cage, where it's like there's not enough space and you can't really move too much to build momentum. But a good cage would be like the flower cage or the mushroom cage or the bed cage, where you can go
Hmm.
all the way to the back, sprint for like a second or two before making the jump. And if you time it right, you get sort of this cage jump, which gives you more momentum and makes you be faster. It's
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
I've
like in
seen that
sumo
before.
where yeah, it's kind of like in sumo. That's like the only parallel that I can draw, where you press E with modern keybind handling. Maybe if you've seen this, you're the sumo
Yeah,
player, and
I
then
have.
as soon as you load into the game, you jump farther. So yeah, it's faster in bridge because you can do it 5 times, and you get more momentum, I think. Um, and it's more important for scoring goals because obviously those 5 seconds over time are they're
Add
gonna
up.
add up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how important is ping in bridge? And what's your MS?
My MS is like 50 to 60. In competitive bridge, I think it's pretty important, but not at the same time. It's whatever. I spoke to Onos a while ago, back in 2022, and he told me that all the top bridge players had like 20 ping, 20 CPS, and that's pretty much true for the majority of them. Sure, there are some exceptions of really talented bridge players with higher ping, but again, this was before Bucky Tor, Bucky Bar, Scrims, or whatever servers they have now, where the ping doesn't matter as much. But back when it was on Hypixel, ping mattered a little bit more. But now it doesn't matter too much. You can get away as long as it's stable enough and it's not like 250, where you're just gonna get nonsense. Then it doesn't matter too much. I have 50. Yeah, for
Hmm.
competitive play, it doesn't really matter. But in my opinion, I would prefer to have the lowest ping.
Yeah.
I think it's just the smoothest and just the most fun experience.
So it's only important on Hypixel. But even then, if you're fighting nons, it's pointless.
Yeah, exactly. For fighting nons, then ping doesn't come into play because there's things like CPS, aim, PvP, blocks. Like it's more factors at play. It
Yeah.
only comes down to ping if it's at the very elite level, and even then, at the very good players, they know how to counteract it, so it's not as important.
So eventually you switch to TNT. Do you want to explain why? And why TNT Duels is better or more fun?
Yeah, Bridge has been on a decline for a while now. I was getting sniped every like 100 games. That's why my win loss is only 100. I say only a 100, but realistically, if I wasn't getting sniped so often, I would have like a 500 or something by now. In Bridge, simply just because every day I would log on, and there's people that made bots. Literally, they made like sniping Discord bots just for bridge players, like for leaderboard players. So me, Jan, like and other people as well. If you weren't cool with the sniper group, they would just snipe on you, get an all, and just cheat on you, and there's not much you can do. So yeah, it was just getting really repetitive every day. I would just log on and just get hacked on. It was annoying because I like to get win streaks. But obviously my main goal was to get wins. But if they were interrupting my wins by sniping on me, I like, okay, I'm just gonna log off and then wait until they leave. So it was just getting kind of annoying. And at that time is when I started speaking more to Shaden, and he would just stream TNT, and I would see that he would get like a bunch of streaks. But more importantly, he was screen sharing it, and we were just talking about like anime, as we were just talking about life. And he was like so laid back while playing Bow Speak, and I'm like, dude, what is this? I need to try it. And he's like, dude, try it. So I'm like, okay. He kind of challenged me to get TNT Godlike, and I'm like, all right, I'll get it. And at the beginning, TNT was a little hard to learn and hard to get a grasp of, but once I did, it was a lot of fun. I got wins quickly, and I didn't get cheated on. So yeah, I only lost to good players mainly, or yeah, my own mistakes. So I liked it
Hmm.
a lot. Yeah, I think TNT is probably the best duels mode at the moment because you just can't get
Oh
cheated
yeah,
on. That and parkour, but parkour is so boring in my opinion.
and it's
It's
also longer.
TNT's, yeah, way longer, and I don't know, it's not as fun for me. Some people like parkour, to those people they can do their thing, but I like TNT. And
Hmm.
yeah, at one point TNT also had the best community. I made a lot of friends in the TNT community. So yeah, really cool place. Yeah, it's a good com. When I started, I don't remember what year this was. Um, I met a lot of really cool people like Salchi. I met Soya, Japanese. I think Salchi's from Peru. He's really cool. Me and him, we started speaking Spanish. He's really cool. Who did I meet? Mercurial, I think that's how you pronounce it. He's the best TNT player by far, but he's also like a pretty chill guy. He plays bridge as well, super good. He even beat me once in bridge. He's actually really really good at bridge. Um, Bot 1K again. Bot is really cool too. Like whenever I ask these guys for 1v1s, even though they're gonna destroy me, they're really cool, really laid back, and give me advice. Like 1v1 me. I met who else did I meet? Obviously Shaden. I met Zyke, not through Bowspleef, but he does play Bowspleef, but through Conk. And yeah, same thing with A Team. A lot of rumory too. Like a lot of people that I know just happen to play Bowspleef. Um, I didn't even know Pixel played Bowspleef until recently, but yeah, he had 10K in Bowspleef. But
Hmm.
yeah, a lot of cool people just play Spleef, I guess. I don't know.
And there's no like freaks in the com compared to like the
Yeah,
PvP based
yeah,
modes.
yeah. There are. There definitely are freaks in the com. Um, I'm not gonna name them name them out, but yeah, there are people that go on alts and try to sweat against you for whatever reason,
Hmm.
and like just asshole and give you a hard time. And there's also there like very annoying people who have a lot of high wins, but they just have like a really big ego over Spleef. But again, most of those people don't play anymore, so I'm kind of glad. But yeah, and there are definitely some two or three rotten apples, but I think the rest are pretty good.
Hmm. I mean, it's like that in every duel or even game. High wins equals
Yeah.
ego. So, what do you think about the multi-flawed maps in Bowspleef when it was still a thing?
Um, I wasn't a fan of them. When you played Reg Spleef, or whenever you played not Reg, whenever you played Ranked Spleef, you would have to dodge. You'd have to like cycle doing the slash play bow spleef command, and you'd have to wait until you get a very specific map, like Crucible, I think it was. I don't really remember the map name. It was that map that didn't have any floors and it's big and it has a big circle in it. There was only like two or three that did. So yeah, I didn't really like them. I think Spleef Spleef is better when there's not too many layers, but more layers makes it a little bit more competitive, a little harder, but I don't know. I like the simpleness of the one layer.
Hmm. And it's not even about the fact that you waste more time.
Yeah, I mean it is really slow. That is another factor of it. I think I like a little faster pace because frankly nobody has 5 minutes to be wasting time. Like it's just too much.
How much did it delay? Like the extra layers of the map?
A lot. It delayed it a lot. Like even when you play regular spleef, not regular rank spleef, you would have to explode the outer rings of it and make little sort of like Swiss cheese holes. with the items, just so it would speed it up a little bit. Because if you didn't, I forgot what the item is called right now. I can't remember. I can't
Triple shot?
think of it at the top of my head. A what?
Triple shot?
No, no, the other one. Whenever you're playing ranked spleef, there's two abilities that you can switch to.
Oh,
It
the
makes
fire thing.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about, where it
Yeah, yeah.
explodes like, and it makes like your surrounding area like fall of TNT or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So people would do that just to speed it up because once you're at the high level, like especially at the end games, trying to conserve and hold and try to get on better land, like it takes a while for people to fall because you have 10 DJs plus like people aren't gonna fall every second. Like you fall, every here and there. So it takes a
Mm-hmm.
while for all the TNT to be depleted. So yeah, it definitely is a time saver.
They're like 5 minutes or 3 minutes.
I couldn't tell you. I didn't play that much regular spleef. I
Yeah.
think on my main I only have like 3 wins in regular spleef. I played more ranked spleef, so I couldn't tell you really. I just know it's a huge delay.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about reps? And when do you use them?
Wraps?
Yeah, repulsors.
Oh, repulsors. Oh, in duels, well, it doesn't really matter. In bow spleef, if I'm fighting a good player, I try not to use any of my abilities, conserve until the very end because repulsors are more effective when there's little blocks to stand
Land.
on because you can just repulsor them and you kind of just knock them off. It's like sumo, you just knock them off because behind them there's no blocks. So you can use it that way. And then once they come up, you DJ them. You not DJ, you rep them down rep them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's effective that way. But yeah, in duels, it's really good to get fast wins because if you're playing a non, you can repulsor and then triple shot them,
In a
and
corner.
that's like in a corner or just in general, and it's very fast.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it fits the bow spleef mode?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Do you think there should be anything else extra in bow spleef? Like items or abilities? Maybe something else?
No, no, I think it's good the way it is.
Okay, let's move on to dodging. So, how much did you dodge, and do you think dodging should be seen as cheating? At least in your opinion, obviously.
So let me see. So from I pretty much dodged all the time on this account, and I didn't dodge at all on my other one. So I have good experience playing undodged versus dodged. I think dodging should not be considered cheating. Obviously, I'm biased, just like everybody who dodges, but I think it's really cool having not to fight a couple like morons who just cheat and you can just avoid them. And even fighting sweaty players, like sometimes, like especially people who like work or like go to school and like actually have responsibilities, like they can't be asked to spend 20 minutes of time getting something that can be done in like 5 minutes if you just don't play hackers or don't play a tryhard. And it's just much more relaxing, less stressful too. Like, why would you willingly just play like a really annoying game? Like sometimes it's fun, don't get me wrong, but that's why there's niche communities for it. Like that's why the scrims bridge players, they can play scrims if they want to sweat their balls off, they can do that. But people who want to just relax, they can also do that. So I think it's I think it's good. I think they should not have removed it, but again, it's not like it matters now.
Oh yeah, what do you think about dodging being like it removes the factor where you improve yourself in terms of skill,
Yeah, I think Hypixel has never been a
skill
skill play
based?
like Hypixel, yeah, skill based server. It has never been. If you look at Hypixel and what they've done from Sky Wars to Bed Wars to Duels, they've never made anything that was super competitive. The only thing that they made that was competitive was Ranked Sky Wars, and they made Ranked Duels and they removed it because of the toxicity and everything that was wrong with Ranked Duels and Ranked Sky Wars. So I got people who try to make Hypixel something that it's not. I think those people are the problem. But I think in general, Hypixel was never a skill-based server, and it should not be a skill-based server, and it shouldn't be treated that way.
So you think Jules is just casual? It's kind of like arcade.
Exactly. Yeah. The only thing that I would say is competitive, or maybe the tournament, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Yeah. Like not. I don't think it should be taken so seriously. I think if you want to take it seriously, then that's why there's niche communities that exist, like ranked bow spleef, ranked bridge, different niche like ranked battlers. Like there's niche communities for it. But to try to force people to play a certain way and to treat the game like something it's not, I think that's where the problem lies.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think about like win-loss ratio being a huge deal?
I think now it doesn't really matter as much, but again, I don't think it should be a huge deal. I think it's cool. Like for example, I have a good win-loss ratio, but I don't think anything of it. Like I think it's cool. I'm not gonna lie, and I think I've definitely used it to, I've definitely used it to my advantage in certain situations. But I don't think I'm better than anybody because of it, and I got it while dodging, so it's not like it really means anything. So I think people just need to relax a little bit.
So it's just a number to you, a
Yeah,
stat.
exactly. Yeah, I try not to let it get too low because obviously I want to keep it because I think higher the number the better. But again, now it doesn't really matter. I played without Lilith for such a long time, and I'm now just now quitting, even though I didn't use Lilith at all for the past year before it was removed. So again, it is what it is. I don't really care too much for any win loss ratio except my bridge one.
What about win streaks?
Win streaks are cool, but again, it's another thing that doesn't really matter. Like if I wanted to, I could get easily on the win streak leaderboard, but it's just a lot of work, simply put. I've gotten several 1000 win streaks, and I think it's cool. I have tried to gun for them, and I do generally like to play for win streaks, but I just like to do them just for fun to keep me motivated. But
Mm,
otherwise, I wouldn't really go for win streaks. I would more prioritize wins.
yeah, it's like a little side quest when you're grinding for wins.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So what do you think about the upcoming update, aka Spleef and Bed Wars Duels?
Like I said again, it's hard to be excited for it when I quit, but I think it's gonna be interesting. I don't know. I think the Bed Wars duels, if they put in the Bed Wars lobby, I think that's potential to be something cool. First belief, it's probably gonna be alive for a little bit and then fall off, just like Boast Belief.
Hmm
It might be a little bit more active than Boast Belief,
Do you think Bed
but
Wars will
I
be
think
similar
it's
to
gonna be
Bridge?
interesting. I don't. It's hard to gauge. It's hard to gauge. I don't think
hmm
it will replace Bridge entire. I don't think it's gonna overpass Bridge,
Well,
but
it'll
who
be
knows?
similar in terms of gameplay.
Mm, no, not really. It's gonna. I think it's gonna be just like the mine men like bed fight. I think so.
hmm
Maybe with
So you
like
think
one v
it's
ones,
unique
two v
enough?
twos.
Okay.
Not really. I think it's again. It's far too late for them to be doing this. They should have done this like 3 years ago, and they're just beating the bush. And they said
Yeah.
that they were gonna give it to us, but until I see it, I don't believe it. Hypixel is just their staff team is just. I don't know. They truly do not care about duels at all. Another reason why I quit. Like they instead of rewarding you for playing the game and instead of rewarding their fan base and their player base, they just sort of just put you to the side because Skyblock makes more money, Bedwars makes more money, and
hmm
they've updated housing more than they've updated duels. They've updated every other mode. It's like they truly just like bid on people. Like I don't know, they just do not care at all.
So you quit because of the lack of updates?
Yeah, it's just a little bit of everything. Like
hmm
everything. It was just the lack of updates is like the straw on the camel's back. But the game was heading in a bad direction. It declined completely. They removed dodging. People still snipe like always without even a way to fight back. So it was just I don't know. Just everything just went downhill. So I was like, okay, let me just jump off the train,
Yeah, makes
just leave.
sense. What did you think about the title update? The old one?
I think it was cool. I think it's cool. I think I'm glad that they added Celestial, Divine, Ascended. When they
hmm
added the world elite, world's best, those were nonsense. I'm glad they removed those. but but it just goes to show how little they care.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's cool. I'm glad that they updated the titles back whenever they did.
What did you think about Godlike X?
I think that was really cool. It was a shame I never got Godlike X. I got a seasonal title. I got like OP top 2500, but that's about it of the legacy titles. I never got Godlike X or those old legacy titles, but I think those were really cool when they first came out.
Some people want to, like, still use them, like have a legacy
Yeah,
option, just like how you can use it with ranked. Do you think that should be a thing with X?
no, honestly, I think people just need to relax. Um, I think it's cool, but like the problem is, I already see where people are coming from. Like people are just gonna use that as a reason to ego other people. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how it is in other communities, but people have such an obsession with stating the fact that they played for longer than you. Like especially in the bridge community, some people are hyper obsessed with saying like, "Oh, you're not an OG. Oh, Like you haven't played since this. Like people don't realize that I've been playing since prototype, and so have so many other people, but we just don't publicly say it because who cares? Like, but there are some people, and I'm not gonna name any names. If people are watching this and they're in the bridge community, they know who I'm talking about. Where they'll go in lobby one and publicly shame other people. Like even if it's a joke, they'll just joke around with you being a new gen and just fooling around that way, and it's just kind of annoying. So I think if Godlike X were to be introduced again, it would just be it would to be it was to be, I think it's going to be used like improperly, and people are just going to use it for nonsense
Yeah,
and
makes
like
sense.
making jokes and stuff. Yeah.
So, what would you want in an ideal update aside from more rewards?
Again, far too late, but hypothetically, if this was 3 years ago, I think they should have added. I don't know. I think they should have just fixed their game. They don't even necessarily have to add anything. They just need to fix the stuff that they already had. So I think update the update Watchdog for once. Watchdog is just I don't know. It was just terrible. I understand that they're doing the best they can, but it was horrible. I mean, they fixed Fly not even that long ago, which was just a testament. They should completely wipe the win streak leaderboard. I think they should wipe all the win streak leaderboards because everybody on there's a cheater anyways. Like
Hmm.
especially how sumo is. You can never even dream of becoming on unless you
Oh yeah.
cheat or boost. But yeah, like I said, it's just full of cheaters. So I'll just wipe it for every mode, personally,
Hmm.
and
Anything else?
just fix their small things. Like there's so many little things that they could fix. Like for TNT, there's nothing much you can do to fix. But like the bug glitch or the skin glitch or whatever it was called back in the day, they could have fixed that. They did fix it eventually, but it just took them way too long. For
Hmm.
Bridge, they should remove the maps that are horrible that nobody likes anyways, like Condo, for example. Just remove Condo entirely. Remove Paliestra. All the new Bridge maps have been horrible. So it's not even just adding; it's just fixing their crap, I guess.
Yeah, it's like fixing the bugs.
Implement more admins. I think that'd be good. If Duels actually had a Duels admin that would watch over the community and ban people that are blatantly hacking, like you've been in the Duels community for so long, some people are just not legit.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna name any names, but we know every time they're in lobby one, they're just they're not legit. So I would just say
Yeah,
just get rid of those people. Get rid of the people that are bad for duels. The hackers,
the pests.
the people who dox. Yeah, just all of those people. Just get rid of them.
I mean, Nitro used to be the Jules admin, but then he just dipped the Skyblock.
Yeah, it's a shame. I don't even know who's our duels admin now. Motor Gorilla or what his name is.
I think he's just a general admin, but he just
That's
randomly drops updates for some modes and dips.
yeah, it's a shame. They don't put duels in such a high like they don't view duels so highly. They view duels as like build battle. Even build battle got a better update than what duels got.
Yeah, and Jules used to be like number 3 or number 4 for player count, I believe.
Yeah, I mean it's just Hypixel's a business, and I understand they need to focus on other things. But you're telling me in 4 years you can't put out a single update? Like that's like me saying, for example, that like if my parents ask me to do something and I'm like, well, yeah, I'm busy, I have work and I have this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, just get around to it when you can. But if I didn't do it in like 4 months, well, that's just like unacceptable. Like you can clearly get around to something in like a week or two. Even like let's say you had a really rough like time frame, you can get around to something in a month or two, like realistically. There's no
Excuse.
like and under no circumstances 4 years acceptable. Like under
Hmm.
zero. That is what it is.
Yeah. What do you think about like the new rank titles? Like the naming scheme, I guess?
There's new rank titles. What do you mean?
No, like not all. I mean, not new. It's the Ascended, Divine, Celestial. It's like the godly theme.
Oh yeah, I think that's cool. I think it's cool.
Hmm. There were like
Not very much to
little.
say. I think it's cool.
Yeah, that's fine. Ascended used to be called Immortal. What do you think about Immortal
Yeah.
being the final rank of Jules?
No, I think that's dumb. I think they're doing too much.
Hmm. What do you think about tier 50 being the cap instead of 10?
Opinion. It's irrelevant to me. I think if you don't play sumo or classic or skywars, like any of the fast modes, you truly don't really care for big titles at all. I think that only matters more to players who get thousands and thousands of wins. I've played so much, and I only have like what 80k wins because
Hmm.
most of my wins came from bridge and TNT, which are pretty slow because TNT is fast, but it's just so dead. So I mean,
Hmm.
it just evens out.
Yeah, but back in 2020, whatever, you still had a chance of getting like the max title, but now you're pretty much locked out of it forever.
Yeah, for sure. And then unless if you play sumo, then
Yeah,
I think
but
that's
assuming
cool.
you play
But
something else other than Sumo and
yeah,
Classic, don't you find that annoying?
yeah,
Or do you just not
not
care about
really.
titles anymore?
I don't really care about titles. I think once I reach godlike and once I've reached like godlike 3, I was like, okay, cool. I would like to hit celestial, but realistically, I just don't enjoy the game enough to go for something more. But I think it's cool though. I mean, whenever my friends, like whenever Timothy hit 50k wins in bridge, I was like, yo, congrats. Whenever Shade hit 100k in bonus belief, I was like, yo, congrats. I was in the screenshot. And it's really cool to get those big titles, but anything past that is just a little redundant. Like I think the big milestones are far more, I think they're cooler than the, ascended 15 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
So,
because it's still the same title.
exactly.
Makes sense. Well, let's end it with the hobbies. Do you want to quickly speedrun through your favorite animes and why they're your favorite?
Yeah, I have my anime list here pulled up. So I would say one of them would be, and these are in no particular order. I would say one of them would be Neon Genesis Evangelion. I recently watched it. I just think the characters are really relatable, specifically for me, Shinji. Like there's times where I'd be in my bed laying down on my like with my AirPods in, listening to music because I'd be really sad. And yeah, I think it's really cool the whole concept of the robots, the Avas, Asuka, Ray, like I think all the characters are really cool. The story is really nice as well. The ending not so much, but the whole story is really cool, and I think it aged really well for being made in whatever year it came out. And yeah, I think it's also a little bit symbolical too. Like during the show, you might think, Shinji, get in the robot. What are you doing? Up, but I think it's kind of like a metaphor. Like I think it's symbolical for like sometimes people don't face their problems. Like Shinji doesn't get in the robot. He's scared to face his problems, but it's really easy to recognize that when you're on the outside. Like Shinji, get in the robot. But I was Shinji once in my life, running away from my problems, and I really enjoyed. Genesis Evangelion made me sort of rethink a little bit and take a step back.
A new
Another one
perspective?
is another one that I like is Yu Yu Hakusho. Again, it's just a shonen, nothing too special, but I really like the fighting. The characters are really cool. The intro is amazing. The dub is really nice as well. Welcome to the NHK. A little bit inappropriate. Not a little bit. It's pretty inappropriate. I wouldn't recommend watching unless you're 18 plus. But it's really relatable. In some aspects. This guy, he's a hikikomori, so he's not. He's a neat, not eligible for employment, education, training. So he's not doing anything with his life. He's just wasting his life away. Which was me a certain while ago. I would just not leave the house and just do nothing with my life. I don't know. I think it's really funny too. It's really I had a blast. I think that's might be my favorite like comedy. Really funny.
Hmm.
Dragon Ball Z Kai. That was my first show. I just have it there for nostalgic reasons. Really good show. Dusk Maiden of Amnesia. I think this is Shade's favorite anime as well. It's really good. The anime itself isn't anything too special, but I just really like the ending, and overall, it's just very solid. It's kind of like Freerun. Freerun isn't anything too special, but it's really stable and it's just really good. It's just nothing. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just really good. Psyche K. I really like this. It's a comedy of a guy who's a psychic. Super chill show. Pretty funny as well. Only season 1 though. Season 2 is horrible, but yeah, Psyche K is chill. Oshinoko season 1 and season 2, both really good. A little you know, elements of just being. I don't know. I don't. It's hard to describe Oshinoko. Now that I think of it, I can't really describe it. It's sort of just a good show. I don't know. And last one, I would say I really like. Actually, I don't know. There's so many. I guess I'll just go Promise Neverland. Promise Neverland is really good. Um, Nothing too much to say. I just generally good show. Very interesting with all the kids and the daycare of the demons. I think it's pretty chill.
Okay. Can't really give too many interesting reply since I've only watched one anime in my life,
Oh, which one?
Death Note. But this was like
Okay.
eons ago. What do you think about Death Note?
Yeah, Death Note is on my list. I have it as a 9 out of 10.
Oh.
I'm not gonna spoil the show, but after a certain event, you know what I'm talking about. The show kind of it turns, it's not as good after a
Mm-hmm.
certain period of time. It's not as good, but yeah, I think Death Note is really good. I've actually watched it with my dad. We didn't
Oh.
finish it, but we got to like halfway through it. He really liked it. He's like, I remember watching it with him. We watched like the first 2 episodes, and like he's like, dude, whoever wrote this is a psychopath. This is first
Uh,
anime, but yeah, it was really good, really interesting. I like the music too. The intro is really good and
oh yeah.
it's really good, like suspense. I love it.
What do you think about like English dubs? Do you think it's like decent most of the time or what? There's also some opinions about dubs being like fake. You should watch like the raw version, the OG version.
Yeah, because I know some. I don't know too much Japanese, but I know some Japanese to the point where the dub is a little bit wrong. Um, the thing is, when you're interpreting, you don't interpret word for word. You interpret meaning for meaning. But sometimes it gets lost. And Japanese is one of those languages where it's kind of tricky to interpret. Um, but yeah, like I think it's cool. Dubs are cool. I think certain shows do dubs nicely. I think older shows, like specifically Dragon Ball, was really good. I think what's that one show that Zyke really likes? Steins Gate. I think that's a good dub. I watched a little bit, but I still prefer the sub. Sub is better most of the time. But yeah, some translations of the dub are a little bit off. But
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. I think in my opinion, if I knew Japanese, I wouldn't even dub.
Oh yeah,
But
of course.
sometimes I like to watch dub. It really depends on the show.
Hmm. Yeah, let's talk about Switch 2. Favorite games? What do you plan on doing on it? Maybe with friends or family?
Yeah. No family and no IRL friends because I don't have any. But yeah, my family doesn't really play games. They're not really too into games. I
Hmm.
plan to play just with online friends or just myself. I've been playing Mario Kart World at the moment, just sort of just checking out the different tracks, the different mechanics. It's really fun. I liked it a lot. And also, I want to play. I have a list of Switch games that I want to play on the Switch too.
Yeah, want to
I
list
can
them?
read it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever a new Animal Crossing game gets released, I'm hoping they're gonna release one for the Switch too. I'm gonna get that. I also got Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door. I plan to play that. Dragon Quest Six. I heard good things about it. I want to play it. Ace Attorney, a compilation. I want to play that as well. I heard it's just like a really good, just uh, good game in general. Mario Odyssey, I was thinking of playing, but I don't know. Not really anymore. Fire Emblem Three Houses. It seems interesting. I might dabble. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and Pokemon ZNA. We'll see about those. Um, I don't know. We'll see. I haven't played a Pokemon game in ages, but I sort of replay a Pokemon game to just I don't know. I remember
Nostalgia?
playing one in my childhood that I really enjoyed, but I forgot. And
Yeah,
Story
there's
of Seasons
nostalgia.
Grand Bazaar. Yeah, kind of for nostalgia.
Hmm.
Also, I want to get into it a little bit more.
What made you get a Switch 2?
Honestly, mainly the new Animal Crossing game. Animal Crossing is one of my favorite games of all time, so when that releases, I want to play that on. And I also had a Switch One that I got back in 2020. I sold it though, just because I got a PC and I was just busy playing like
Hmm.
Duels mainly. But yeah, I really like certain games that you can only play on Switch. Switch has the most, or Nintendo has the most exclusives. So like you can't play Animal Crossing on any other platform. You can't play Paper Mario Thousand Year Doors on any other platform unless you pirate it, of course. But it's not the same experience. And I also like to play in bed sometimes. So I think the Switch is really cool. I can do both things. It's like an iPad and then also just a console. So really cool.
Yeah, so you're more comfy.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you do any traveling with the Switch?
Nah, nah. Man, I only just got the Switch 2. It only released like 3 days ago. So I haven't
Yeah,
been able to do much. And I've
just talking
been
about like in the
working.
future.
So in the future, maybe. If I We'll see. I don't think so, honestly, because if I do travel, I plan to enjoy my experience as much as I can. I don't plan to just stay inside, play video games, because why would I even travel at that point?
Yeah, it could be
But I
like
do
on the
plan to
train or the
travel.
bus or the plane.
Yeah, Yeah, I might honestly. That now that you say that, that does bring up a good point.
Yeah.
If I ever do travel, I was thinking about traveling to, I don't know, maybe Japan or I don't know. My mom is really into some certain islands in Europe or something. I don't know what she's into. She told me some island. She also mentioned like Bora Bora and certain
Like tropical
places.
islands.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't really like those because what's the point of just going to an island for the beach when we have like when I live pretty close to a beach, so it's just kind of I don't know. I don't really want to travel somewhere else just to get more like beach and water. I think it's all sort
Mm.
of the same thing.
What makes Japan unique?
Hmm?
What makes Japan unique compared to the islands?
Uh, well, I think what I would do there is I would just consume a lot of content. Like you can get a bunch of really cheap things in Japan because of the yen, and also get a bunch of manga, get a bunch of stuff. I think I would go shopping and just enjoy the place. I'd go to Kyoto or I would go to I don't know, I'd go to like Saitama, just browse. I think it's really cool. I think it's like since it's another part of the world, same thing
Mm.
with like China. If I would go to China, I think I would enjoy it a lot. It's just so different than the US and it's a completely different language and it's just completely different. So I like
Hmm.
having something completely new.
Like a different culture, different foods, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah. I'd really like to go to China as well in the future. I would like to go not even to just Asian countries, but I would like to go just somewhere far away. I think it's really cool to just do something completely different, like a big switch.
Hmm. Anything specific in the Switch?
Mm, are you talking about switch as in
No, no,
switching
no.
of cultures or
Mm.
switching as like the switch?
Switching cultures. Switching cultures. We're
Anything
past the
specific?
Switch.
Not really. I really like switching. Just I don't know. I think it'd just be interesting to just travel and try new things. I think trying new things is really cool. Like trying new
Anything
foods,
specific?
trying
Yeah.
mm, foods. I think is something that I would really like to try. I'd also like to try different experiences. Like sort of, I've never been to a mall outside of the U.S. Even
Hmm.
outside of the state, really, for that matter. I've never been to a different mall. Never been to a different like convenience store. It sounds kind of weird, right? But it's just I just want to try something completely new, like something totally different, something that's like
Hmm.
not up my alley.
Yeah, that
I
makes
like being
sense.
surprised. If you know what I mean. I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it. Thank you for joining, Mr. CelestialLava.
Thank you for having me.